If everyone who watches this video can please subscribe, then I might get 150 subscribers in the next few days. Enjoy the video.
What is the most useless thing that they teach in school? That if someone's bullying you, you tell them that you don't like it, like no, that's why they do it. I seriously don't get that. How can school staff legitimately think, hey, this kid's getting bullied? They would certainly make good friends. This plan couldn't up in any way. To ask to go to the bathroom. I don't know, can you? Every time a teacher said that to me, I was so tempted to say let's find out and just pee everywhere, but I knew it wouldn't end well. Not to chew gum. On a more serious note, that hugging and public displays of affection are bad. Ask me how many times I got detention because of this. Chewing gum is probably not an educational rule, but rather a custodial rule. Those guys don't get paid enough to scape off your nasty chewed up gum. As a teacher, the number of times I put my fingers in someone's old, chewed gum just because I tried to move a table or chair was far too high. How many times did you get detention because of that? Memorizing the periodic table. It's a table, there is no need to memorize it, all the info is there already. Every single day in chemistry class, there was a huge poster on the wall with the periodic table on it, big enough to read from any seat in the room. Except one day, the one day we had to take a test on how well we'd memorized it, then they covered it with a sheet. You see, it was absolutely essential we remember the molecular number of molybdenum, for all those hypothetical other times when we wouldn't just be able to look up on the wall and see it. As you get older you realize if I need it, I can just print it out and put it on the wall. Zero tolerance policy is the dumbest thing ever taught and implemented. All it teaches is to fear authority when you're the victim. It enables the perpetrator, who is normally a bully. I know administrators are lazy fucks, but they need to actually investigate the goddamn problem instead of saying, hey, you both were involved in the issue so you're both going to get punished. It basically just raises you to hate authority, and while I don't like authorities either, I don't think they're all distrustful, although, I guess this could be interpreted as commentary on how garbage authority is. It also escalates situations. You're getting the same punishment if you retaliate or not, so you better make sure they think twice before starting with you again. I do not want to say this and strongly advocate against violence, but this unfortunately lead to such conclusion, indeed. Hey, if I'm getting suspended either way, I might as well do something to deserve it. My old high school decided that PE wasn't important, and instead of having 2 periods where we would be exercising and learning about the human body, they made us take spiritual development. I hated my old high school. Sounds like they took the high part very seriously. TF do you learn in that class? How to unlock your chakras. When I was in primary school we got taught about digital roots. It's where you take a number, add up all the digits and repeat if you have more than one digit. So 684 equals 6 plus 8 plus 4 equals 18 equals 1 plus 8 equals 9. Nobody else has ever heard of this. It's useful for a rather niche video game, lol. What game? 999, 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. It's an incredible game. In physical ed they had us take actual written tests a few times sitting on the gym floor. Questions like where was basketball invented, what are the rules of pickle, yada yada, other useless. I took an intro to bowling class in college as an elective, and we had to have an actual final written exam with questions like where was bowling invented. I took bowling in college and it was nothing more than going down to the local lanes a couples times a week to throw some balls, drink some beers, and smoke a whole lot of cigarettes. As you may have deduced, this was more than a few years ago. As we say in my league, my drinking team has a bowling problem, and I'm just here for the beer. That if we cover our shoulders and legs, boys will stop looking at us. Saudi Arabia must be just full of men who are hyper-focused on the task at hand and not looking up weird Wait. They could save a lot of resources by making men wear blindfolds when in mixed company rather than having women draped crown to toe. As a guy, this rule just taught me that bare shoulders are provocative, and now I get all flustered seeing a cute girl in something showing her shoulders. This clearly didn't work as intended. I'll chime in from a teacher's perspective. A lot of what I teach is to eventually prepare students for calculus, yet most of my students will never take that class. So instead of having fun in math and exploring patterns/properties/problem solving and reasoning/logic, we have to make students memorize everything since we have too much to teach. Memorize this formula. No, we don't have time to explore how to derive it in any meaningful way. Plug numbers into here. No, we don't have time to figure out what these numbers mean nor their significance in the world. This stuff is useful in the real world. No, we don't have time to actually explore that stuff. Here's a fake real world problem instead. This math revolutionized the world when it was discovered. No, we don't have time to explore why. Most kids who struggle with math, in my experience, struggle because they don't have a concrete understanding. It's just memorize math facts and learn to plug the correct numbers into the equation. I'm guilty of all of these sins as a teacher, but the job ahead of me really makes it difficult to do fun stuff in math. There's a long list of reasons why students feel school isn't worth it, and I'm with them in many cases. What we can't fail to forget, though, is school is better than no school. At my school we do many things poorly, but poorly done is better than not done at all. So yes, room for improvement, but please don't give up on the school system. Edit. I don't teach calculus, I teach high school math, and the curriculum and standards push kids as if they will be taking calculus and beyond, which is great, that has a place in school, but 80% of students won't take calculus, so why do we teach math to them as if they will? I'm just a low-level newbie teacher, not an expert or someone who has any real authority on the subject. There are likely a wide variety of answers you'd get from this question, but education isn't necessarily meant to provide just a means to an end, i.e., something useful. Education is about broadening our view of the world, teaching us what all is out there, and showing us there is so much more than what we see inside these four walls. Teaching us about what astronauts do on the ISS isn't very useful information for many of us, but it's incredibly interesting, and it shows us that there is amazing value in exploration, discovery, and further learning. Earth is an ever-changing and beautiful planet, and its inhabitants are even more fascinating and entertaining. We'd likely never know any of this if we didn't study and learn about everything that's here. Yes, some of it is kinda boring, and maybe useless, but it all adds to the depth and breadth of our ability to think critically, and more objectively, about all things. Edit. Wow. Thanks for all the colorful emoji thingies. I've never gotten any of these before. Most of the BS I peddle on Reddit just crashes and burns at the bottom of the thread about 10 seconds after I hit save.